Alright, hey, what's going on there, folks? Earthmaster here. October 16th, 2018, 8:38 p.m. Western Time, and the big day of the YouTube outage. If you didn't know already, I'm sure most folks know out there through social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all over the place. Typing in YouTube down or YouTube, hashtag YouTube outage, gets you a massive response there. Of a major outage that has taken place with the company of YouTube, and there's no doubt this has definitely affected quite a bit of users in a very large way. Now, we were streaming live when this happened, although the stream never did go offline. We continued to broadcast here, and there was a couple folks that never left the stream, so ultimately it never affected them. But if you did happen to leave the stream and then try to come back, you would not be able to, just due to the simple fact that YouTube was down itself here. This here is just from a Fox News website here, talking about the outage here a little bit. And of course, this isn't going to let me do what I want it to do here. But quite a few folks reporting some issues out there with it. Like I say, I know I couldn't log into the website whatsoever. Of course, the only tweet they had was that one that you see right there with the "Thanks for your reports about the YouTube outage, and we're trying to currently work on it," and all that good stuff. It just your typical robot reply from a major company. So, you know, YouTube's back up and running, it looks like now, folks. Everything looks like it's running good. Like I say, I never stopped the stream, never restarted it. Everything's running as it has before it happened. But it was definitely a major issue with them. The last report I got from YouTube on Twitter was, and this I quote, "Thanks for your reports about YouTube TV, and YouTube Music access issues. We are working on resolving this, and we'll let you know once we're fixed. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused, and we'll keep you updated." Still no official word on what has happened with the outage or why it happened. All I know is it happened, and there's quite a few people freaking out about it. I mean, it was all over social media. Facebook, every Facebook post was nothing but the YouTube outage, which was pretty crazy. But anyway, folks, covering the earthquake data right now, taking a look at the most recent earthquake data here on the Earthquake 3D stream here. Quite a bit of action if you take a look at over the last 24 hours or so. Quite a bit of action in the Intermountain West region. That includes Nevada. Utah had some action as well, and also right around Yellowstone National Park. We'll take a look at that here in just a minute. The aftershocks continue over there around that major earthquake they had there yesterday. Just southwest of the Fiji Islands region. No major movement today. Although we did have a really deep earthquake taking place out here in the southwestern part of the, well, I guess Pacific Ring of Fire out here near Indonesia region at a depth of about 628 kilometers there that you can see on the little box screen there. At 4.7, 628 kilometers is a rather deep earthquake. I believe that's not the deepest earthquake we've seen, but definitely a pretty deep one. I can't remember the exact deepest earthquake we've ever recorded out here, but a lot of action going on around the globe, and some moderate deep earthquake occurring all along the South America plate section out here. You take a look at those rings right there, you can see most of them are raised off the globe, indicating some deeper movement out there. Not major movement, but 4.6s, 4.7s and quite a few threes occurring there within that region at a fairly moderate deep level right there. 129 kilometers on the average for most of these earthquakes, 246 there, 97. But either way, these are not surface quakes one bit. So a lot of movement on the entire southeastern part of the Pacific plate up here, right against the South America region right there. Some deeper earthquake, like I said, we covered that one there. No movement, no activity. If you take a look at the northwest corner of the Pacific Ring of Fire up here, this Pacific plate up here, you know, you can include Japan and up through the Alaskan Aleutian Islands region, just off of Russia, stretching down towards the Philippines region there. Pretty quiet, folks. Very invalid of activity, no activity over the last 24 hours. While we've seen quite a bit of activity over here along the southeastern part, and that's going to be the spot to watch here, definitely over the next day or two, if not tonight sometime. Just pretty quiet. California, let me jump over here real quick and show you guys the California map here. Still kind of running the that's not what I wanted here. Hold on one second here. Still kind of running the rinky-dink type of setup here. Hold on one second here. This thing's not going to want to cooperate with me. For some reason it still wants to just show right up along the coast, and I'm not for sure what's going on with it. But far as California goes, at least on my end here, a little bit of activity out there. Well, east of California in the Nevada region there. A couple smaller earthquakes near Lovelock, Nevada, just a 2.4, and a couple smaller ones as well. So apparently this thing does not want me to show that tonight, and that's okay. It's all good. I mean, it's going to do what it's going to do. Here's the most recent earthquakes here, the 1 day, all magnitude 2.5 and above, from the USGS website. You can see the most recent earthquake there being a 4.5 down around the Peru region, although a 2.8 is showing up. Well, never mind. Take that back. As soon as I mention that, a 2.8 pops up there around the Puerto Rico Islands region. But either way, last moderate earthquake there being a 4.5 with a depth of about 120 kilometers there. So we're seeing that continued moderately deep earthquake activity in the South America range there. It's just you know, it's just something we got to watch, as the northwest part of the Pacific plate is pretty gosh darn quiet, folks. It's just a very interesting day for earthquake activity, let me tell you. I want to check the slow slip event area right now. I think I need to refresh this here real quick. Just been one heck of a day. It's been one of those days. Let's go back the last 48 hours or so on this map here from the Pacific Northwest seismic network here, showing slow slip movement being detected along the Cascadia subduction zone there, stretching all the way from Northern California all the way up to Vancouver Island region there. Not a large scale multitude of earthquakes, or I shouldn't say earthquakes, tremors, but definitely coverage. Coverage is pretty good on this. And by coverage, I mean that a lot of tremors being detected along the entire length of the Cascadia subduction zone there. So definitely some tremor movement being picked up on this real-time tremor map. And it's like I say, it's not very dense when it comes to the trimmers, but it is sporadically spread out along the entire length, it looks like there. So I'll definitely keep an eye on that region. Yellowstone, we had some earthquake activity up around the region. I know on the Yellowstone maps here we did see a little bit of activity. Let me see if I can pull that up here real quick. It's still kind of recovering from the hurricane coverage and whatnot. I just really haven't got everything set up to how I want it to be, but I am working on it, and we will continue at it. Let me see here if you guys can see that. Yeah, this here is just a Yellowstone overview, thumbnails if you will. That's what they actually call it up here. Yellowstone thumbnails of seismic graphs there in the Yellowstone National Park region, and showing a little bit of earthquake activity towards the northwest corner of the park, up kind of up where we normally see some swarming going on. But I'm not calling this any type of swarming yet. These are just some smaller earthquake activities, and also up around the Hebgen Lake region as well is where we're seeing the activity kind of being picked up on that network, seismic network as well. Like I say, if swarm does pick up or anything does change in this area, I will make an immediate update video in regards to that activity. But for now, just a couple sporadic smaller earthquakes striking around the region there. I think a 3.2 being the largest that struck earlier today, if I'm not mistaken here. Let me go back and double check here while I'm at it. We did have a 3.3 near Manhattan, Montana earlier today, and also a 2.5 following that 3.3 earlier today as well. So a little bit of activity occurring within the Montana region, West Montana, which ultimately was picked up on the Yellowstone seismograph networks here. And keeping a close eye on that one. I mean, if this could turn into a swarm up in Montana like we've seen before, we did have that kind of eerie swarming activity up in Montana last year that kind of kicked off for a couple weeks and then it just died down. But keep an eye on it, see if this thing starts to swarm up at all. If it does, and I'll add up a seismic graph there to keep a close eye on it. But for now, anyway, folks, welcome back to 2018. YouTube's back up and functioning. You can go watch your favorite TV shows and music and all that good stuff, live streams. Just people started freaking out on Facebook. It was kind of crazy. A 2018 YouTube meltdown, so to speak. It looks like it recovered quite nicely after about 2 hours of being down. Have a good night out there, folks. We'll chat you guys a little bit later. Stay safe out there, and always have a backup plan to YouTube. And we'll chat you guys later. Peace.